We put her out there in them cottonwoods.
Hey, I didn't mean you had to do it right away. Could have waited until it stopped raining.
It looks like it's gonna rain all night.
Figured it was better to get it over with. Be kind of rough on the kids to see their ma being buried.
First time I ever knew you to use your brain. You know, it's funny. I've dug a lot of graves. You'd think I'd be getting used to it after a while.
Seems if you really got used to it, you wouldn't have much use for the living.
It don't seem right, though. Maybe it's because she's a woman.
What do you mean, a woman dying?
No, I mean, being left alone out here in the middle of nowhere like this. It's different with a man. A man's pretty much of a loner anyhow. A woman ought to be left with her folks.
You know, when I was a kid, my pa used to take me out to the churchyard now and then to pay respects to his ma. And she was buried right there with her ma and sister and some other kid I never even heard of. It all seemed kind of right that way, you know, all being buried together.
That's what I mean. But it ought to be that way with her, too.
Aren't you both forgetting something? I mean, a woman don't just lie there in the ground any more than a man does. She's not off in those cottonwoods. And your pa's ma and those others, they're not in that churchyard. They're with their family and friends, where they ought to be.
Yeah, well, that's all according to how you believe.
Well, no, I'm not giving you any preacher talk, Roddy. Heaven and hell and the hereafter, I don't know anything about that. What I mean is, right here on this earth, I don't think anybody ever really dies. Don't make any difference what happens to the bones. They'll be alive in the minds and hearts they live in. You talk about your kin in that churchyard. Don't that keep them alive?
I suppose so, yeah.
Same with that woman out there in those cottonwoods. She won't be alone. She'll be with her children.
You may be right, but how are we going to get them kids to understand that?
Afraid you can't. One of those things that takes time. About all anybody can do is help them over the rough spots. Till they learn it's the why and how of things.
Says it mighty well over here. Oh, Lord, support us all the day long until the shadows lengthen and evening comes. And the busy world is hushed, and the fever of life is over, and our work is done.